Hey guys, I'm Dave and thanks for checking out another episode of Debt Free Differently. Today, we're talking about lunch. Specifically, we're talking about those $10 to $15 lunches at Chipotle, that sandwich place downstairs, and that pizza shop that you always end up at for a coworker's birthday. In everyday life, I often talk about how workers experience a delicious, yet slow financial death by $10 lunches. While I'm not here to blame avocado toast as the one and only reason why millennials can't buy houses, I do think that there's something to that. Burgers, tacos, ramen, they're also to blame. People often don't realize how big of an impact these casual meals out are having on their finances, but the good news is we can fix that. Of course, if you learned something new or like this video, please give it a thumbs up or subscribe to my channel to learn how to pay off debt, manage your money, and even generate wealth a little bit differently. Now, let's talk about how these work lunches are stopping you from getting out of debt and holding you back from your financial future. You know how there's always that one guy at work that around 11:45 walks around all the cubes and says, "Hey, you get lunch yet?" What he's actually saying is, do you want to go out and spend your hard-earned money on lunch instead of being responsible and investing in your financial future? Okay, so he probably just wants to eat, but you know what I mean. In fact, you might be that guy, and if you are that guy, I forgive you. I think. We live in a country where the average debt holder has about $8,000 in credit card debt, $26,000 in student loan debt, and $10,000 left on a car payment. That's about $44,000 of debt that people conveniently forget about while they're mid-burrito. To help us figure out if those meals are actually worth it, let's look at what those lunches are doing to your money, both short-term and long-term. So I know going out to lunch can be fun, and yes, the food is good, but let's take a look at the short-term effect that this is having on your money. Let's say that you go out to lunch 4 times per week. And I know a lot of us rationalize that it's only $10 per meal, and I've been guilty of that too. Especially if you live in a big city, I actually think that averages closer to $15 per meal after tax when you take into account that you might go to the occasional sit-down restaurant, pick up that kombucha or pressed juice, and chip in for a coworker's birthday every now and then. On average, bringing your own food to work costs you about $4 per meal. That's the difference of $11 per lunch. Let's be real, it might not taste as good, but this could be a sacrifice that you're willing to make if you're serious about getting out of debt. So if you go out to lunch 4 days per week, that's costing you about $44 more than bringing food from home, which equals about $150 to $200 per month. If you haven't done the math, that's about $2,000 per year that you could be putting towards debt. Could an extra $2,000 per year help you clear your smallest student loan debt in 1 to 2 years instead of 10? Freeing up some extra cash that you would feel every single month? Could that make one of your credit card bills go away this year? Could it shave 6 months off of your car payment? Could it help you pay off your cell phone in months? Or even help you save for a vacation that you would have otherwise gone in debt for? Short term, those burgers are costing you time, stress, interest, and money. Let's say you don't have debt to clear or things to pay off in the short term. Almost 60% of millennials have $0 in savings at all. And maybe you've made the decision that you're going to be one of the 40% that starts saving and investing in your future. And if you're watching this video, I hope that you're on that path. If you took that $175 per month and invested it every month for 10 years with a reasonable return of 7%, thanks to the power of compound interest, you would end up with about $30,000 after 10 years. Could bringing lunch to work help you build up an emergency fund, start investing in retirement, or help you start saving for that mythical house down payment that you've been dreaming of? A lot of people say that it's impossible to save a house down payment, but yet people buy houses all the time, and truth bomb time, it's not always because they had help. Personally, we own 2 houses, and I'm willing to bet that there are a lot of people like us that skipped more than a few lunches and dinners to save up that down payment. In fact, it's a little extreme, but I actually put myself on a $15 per week food budget to round out our second house down payment. When you think about the long-term costs of those lunches, those nachos, cold pressed juices, and overpriced salads might be even more expensive than you think. So yes, we all have to eat, but by doing lunch a little bit differently and flexing some willpower in the face of temptation, you can either pay off debt or save for something that's much bigger than an Applebee's lunch special. If you can't commit to quitting these lunches entirely, maybe you can start thinking of them as a splurge, and then maybe you just do them once a month, and that will still have a huge impact on your finances. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and happy lunching. I'll catch you on the next episode of Debt Free Differently.